And let's let the sound of this next bell take us to the deepest place within us. All right, good morning. Let's stand for our first couple of songs. The first one is Thoughts and Prayers.
Thoughts and prayers are good indeed, but if you wanna grow a garden, gotta plant a lot of seeds. Water them, tend them patiently, living in spirit.
wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, friends, while you're on your feet, please turn to one another and offer the Namaste greeting. Namaste, namaste, musicians. Namaste to our tech team, Brian and Jesus. And namaste to our love streamers. I'm so glad you joined us. Namaste, Travis and BJ back there. I see you. I thank God for you. Yeah, all right. Namaste. So good to see you all this morning. If you'll, as you take your seats, if you'll also take a moment to silence your cell phones or whatever devices you have that make noise. I'm Reverend Elizabeth Raleigh Hogue, and I am the spiritual leader here. And I use she, her gender pronouns, and the land upon which we gather here today is the unceded territory of the Chumash and Salinan people. It is my joy to welcome you to the Awakening Ways Center for Spiritual Living, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. This service has been designed especially for you. Welcome home. We have been waiting for you. And we have an affirmation for today, and I invite you to please repeat after me. Every day in every way. Every day in every way. I'm getting better and better. I'm getting better and better. I am teachable. I am teachable. And so it is. All right, and we have our practitioner for the day, Kristen, who's going to come on up. And before she starts, though, I'm going to share a few things. So in your program, you should have a salmon-colored sheet, which is our prayer request form. And we invite you, we're a community that loves to pray, and you have a soul support team of 10 individuals, practitioners and ministers who are in service to this community, in service to you through prayer. And so we would love to have an opportunity to pray on your behalf and know your highest and best good. So if there's something that is heavy on your heart for which you would like prayer for, or maybe you're just looking to manifest something in your life, like that amazing trip to Bali, or maybe maybe the foundations class, or a new car, who knows? Improved relationship, more love, right? Whatever it is, please don't be shy. Fill out that prayer request form, and you can place it in the offering basket when it comes around, or you can put it over in the prayer box after the service, and our team will pray for you for the next week. How cool is that? All right, and then Kristen is our practitioner of the day, will be available for 1-minute miracles in the lobby out here after the service. And we say 1-minute miracles because it's really, you know what you need prayer for, and she goes into prayer. It's not a session, which, oh, by the way, the practitioners and ministers are also available during the week, or, anytime that works for your schedules for actual sessions. And so these are called practitioner sessions, where you can go deeper and they'll help you come to the spiritual truth within yourself, which is a beautiful thing. And they charge a fee, but they have a sliding scale. So we encourage you to reach out. Their phone numbers are on the back of your program. Email addresses, are the email addresses there too? I don't know. No, just phone numbers. You can call them. And then you can also email us during the week to info@awakeningways.org if something comes up for you for a prayer request. And just put in the subject line, prayer request. Did I get everything? All right.
Anna.
Oh, yes, and we have, thank you. We have Anna, who is a practitioner, and she's holding the high watch for us this morning. And she is in a meditative state, so she's totally cool. She's holding the space for us. So we're grateful for Anna being in that space. And now Kristen's going to offer us the Science of Mind reading and an opening prayer. Let's give Kristen some love. Yeah.
So this is on? Okay. Had a little trouble with it. So just a warning, I'm happy to see everybody, and I can only hug with my left side, so avoid my right. Thank you. So this is from Science of Mind 365, which is our book of the year, and this is today's, and I'm just going to read a part of it. So,
Every human being thrills at the thought of having dreams come true. The idea means different things to different people. To one, it may mean physical health, the ability to walk, run, play, and engage in activity. To another, it may mean abundance, a home, a car, opulence. To yet another, dreams may mean education, the ability to get along and to have a loving mate. Whatever your personal desires may be, as long as they do not hurt you or someone else, you have a right to attain them, and you can. So if you can just take a moment and let's take some breaths together, in through the nose and out with a sigh. Hosanna, Hosanna to the highest. It's a beautiful day. The sun is sparkling, diamonds on the water, the light is bright. And that light is the light of the divine, which is all-knowing, all-loving, all-encompassing, all love. And I am one with that love, and as I know I am, I know that everyone here, everyone online, everyone is one with that too. And today we come together knowing that we're here by divine appointment, knowing that today is the day we're going to hear exactly what we need to hear. We're going to walk out singing what the world needs now, because it is true. And we are that love that the world needs. So listen to your heart, listen to the words, listen to the music, watch the light on the water, and know that you are loved and beloved. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this community. I'm so grateful for this chance to all gather. And I'm grateful for love and light. I know my word to be true, so I release it into the law, knowing it's already done. And together we say, and so it is.
You might slip, you might slide, stumble and fall by the roadside. Yeah, but don't ever let nobody drag your spirit down. Remember, we're walking up to heaven. Don't let nobody drag you down. Walk with the rich, walk with the poor. Learn from everyone, that's what this life is for. But don't ever let nobody drag your spirit down.
Nobody drag your spirit down.
You see, we're walking up to heaven. Don't let no one turn you around. Some say yes, some say no. Some wait and see which way the wind is blowing. But don't ever let nobody drag your spirit down.
Don't let nobody drag your spirit down.
You see, we're walking up to heaven. Don't let no one turn you around. say things that sound a little strange to you. I might preach the gospel cause I'm afraid that it's true, but don't ever let nobody drag your spirit down. While we're walking up to heaven, don't let nobody turn you around. You might slip, you might slide, stumble and fall by the roadside, but don't ever let nobody drag your spirit down.
Don't let nobody drag your spirit down.
We're walking up to heaven. You see, we're walking up to heaven. Right now, we're right here in heaven. Don't let nobody drag you down.
Wow, amazing. Let's give them a little more love. Come on, come on. All right. Yeah. Woohoo. Woo. That was so awesome, right? Wow. Hello, beloveds. It's so good to see you. It's a great day to be alive, isn't it? Yes, considering the alternative, I'll take it. This is our day. This is our beautiful, beautiful day. Oh my goodness. I was thinking this morning on the way here about a couple of things. First of all, today is my husband's birthday. Yeah. And secondly, it's also Palm Sunday, which is interesting, right? And third, this is the anniversary, 1-year anniversary of my ordination celebration. Wow. Look at us now, right? We've come a long way in 1 year. We have come a long, long way. And so I think we can just take a moment to recognize, I know I've come a long way, Awakening Ways Center for Spiritual Living has come a long way, but I invite you to call to mind the fact that you have come a long way and think about what has transformed, what has transpired over the last year, and just feel some gratitude for that. Yeah, let's feel that. Let that gratitude wash over you. Yes. And so it is. So beautiful. And I was remembering how I stood up here on this stage and Michelle Jordan was singing the blessing song, right? Remember that? And she was singing, God is for you, God is for you, God is for you, and God is for you. 4 words over and over, and I was just feeling it in my body and everything that would try to say, oh yeah, but what about when I said this or when I did that, right? And just having that melt away and remembering that absolute truth that God is for me. And I thought, wow, if we could remember that consistently, that every single thing that is happening in our lives, every experience that we're experiencing is for us. It is for us. And sometimes it seems like, oh, I didn't like that, but it's actually for us. And if we can look at it in that particular way, how has this come to grow me, you know? And so there's a lot of growth happening, right, all the time. Have you noticed? Yeah. So how has this come to grow me? And then we remember that this is actually happening for me. And that changes us. With that small little shift in perspective, we can accept things as they are and step forward, right? 1 foot in front of the other, knowing that we're always growing and evolving and becoming more of who we came here to be. How beautiful is that? We're always becoming more of who we came here to be. Nevertheless, it's always for our great evolution, whatever's happening, right? Are you with me? It's beautiful. And so we came around the corner, we get to, it's like we go from Grover Beach to San Luis Obispo, and we come around the corner and start to get on the grade, right? Oh, we love the grade, don't we? Bless the grade. And so, and it's green. The hills are so green. And the sky was this beautiful, brilliant blue. And so having the contrast of the green and blue really struck both Travis and I this morning. And we just got into gratitude, I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful that I get to spend my life with my husband, Travis. I'm so grateful that I get to spend Sundays with you all, and I get to spend time during the week with you. Like, how does it get any better than this, Spirit's going to show us, yeah. I love that. So I'm just feeling grateful and blessed, all right? And I loved I love this song that you just did. What's the name of that song? Don't let nobody drag your spirit down. And I love how it started. I may stumble, I may fall. And we had a giggle because Kristen has been, up until now, notorious for falling. and I said, oh, they wrote a song about you, Kristen. And then it occurred to me, wow, that's not my affirmation for you. And so I had to add up until now, right? Oh, they wrote the song about the old you. The old you, right? So that's not your song anymore. There's a new song that you're singing. And isn't that funny? And then it reminded me of, I love being here, right? You guys, there's so much inspiration coming. Spirit was speaking to me saying, oh yeah, and what about when we were driving to the Bay Area last week to visit little Maddie, our granddaughter, and sometimes all of a sudden you're going 80. Anybody guilty of that? Anybody? Oh, come on, raise your hands, right? Everybody, okay? And then you realize, but you're driving 80 and you're so excited to get where you're going, right? And then suddenly you see the vehicle, the black and white, and you're like totally in radar distance, and it's too late. If you slam on the brakes, it's gonna look really weird. So we look and we see this cop, right? And we're so excited. And then and so you have that moment where you go, what happens, right? Oh no, I don't need a ticket, traffic school, $150, blah, 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 right? So I turn to Travis and I go, we never get tickets. We never get tickets. So that felt good. And we didn't get a ticket. Yeah, he had other plans. So, but I love that little shift, And that's what it's about. There's just a little shift that we can make to help us become more of who we came here to be. That's what that affirmation is really talking about. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better, Every day, there's a little adjustment. And that's what our book of the month, the author, James Clear, yes, that's his name. That's what he's reminding us. 1%. It's that 1% increase. And a couple weeks ago, I talked about that extra percentage, right? Where how many of you are here today? Raise your hand if you're here. And then all the way, how many of you are really here? Yeah, that extra percentage, right? All the way, go all in. And that's what our theme for the year is, all in. And I love you guys, and I love how you're all in. And so it occurred to me also that I haven't been up here for 2 weeks. What? Wow. I got a lot to say, so I'm going to try to pare it down. But we had Daniel Namod, and he was amazing, right? How many of you got to see Daniel Namod? Did you love him? Yeah, Daniel. And then we had, he was the music and the message. And then last week we had Susan, and she was awesome, right? Yeah. Oh my goodness. I watched her talk yesterday, and I was so inspired. She's so amazing, isn't she? Yes. I'm so sorry. Can somebody grab me a Kleenex? Anybody? Please? Thank you. Thanks, Gina or Susan. She was amazing, There were so many little things. The little fish thing, I mean, how cute was that? And had a little moment of, I gotta follow that? Like, what? Excuse me for a moment. All right. So anyway, she was amazing. And then we, of course, had Jimmy and the What Else Is Possible band. And they were awesome. Let's give them some love. And they're awesome again today. We're just so blessed, you know? And DeLon was your host last week. So it felt really good. Yeah, give him some love. It's okay. Yeah. And Reverend Diane was the practitioner. I mean, this is like the triune, right? You guys had a serious contingency here. So I felt really good about being able to leave and know that we're in such good hands. So thank you. Thank you, DeLon. Oh, look, they're on opposite ends. And thank you, Reverend Diane. She may be on Zoom. Who knows? Yeah. So it's beautiful. It's so good. So the Seed of Awakening for the month of April is cultivate. And the topic for today is planting the seed. Now, I love this Ernest Holmes quote that says, thoughts going into the subjective, which, by the way, is the subconscious. So thoughts going into the subconscious are like seeds being planted. They act through the creative medium of mind and must have within themselves the full power to develop and to express. But how could they express unless they were already known to mind? They could not. They could not. So mind must view the thought as already completed in the thing. And mind must also contain the avenue through which the idea is to be expressed. Every thought sets the fulfillment of its desire in motion in mind, and mind sees the thing as already done. That's a long one, right? And so basically, God doesn't provide a vision without a provision. Okay? So the thing that you're thinking of that you want to be and become is going to happen, right? Contained within the idea is the divine intelligence to bring it into form. We humans get a little funny and we try to go, well, how can I make this happen? You know, anybody try that? Yeah. It doesn't work so well, right? And you're like chasing things down and then you trip and fall and face plant or something. I don't know. It doesn't work, though. It doesn't work. So we don't need to make things happen, but we do need to make them welcome, yes? And so consider that small little acorn that holds within it the blueprint or the entelechy of a mighty oak tree. That's amazing when you think about it, right? Or acorns are tiny. So within the acorn is the entelechy for the oak tree. So in Aristotle's philosophy, entelechy refers to the actualization or realization of a potential, the process by which something moves from a state of potentiality to a state of completion. Entelechy, right? So your entelechy is the actualization of your potential for your highest and greatest good, your radiant magnificence. Isn't that great news? The very best version of you, who and what you came here to be. Now, knowing that that's the case, can you get in alignment with this truth that everything that is happening in your life, everything that's happening in your work, in your relationships, in your finances, in your health, is always happening for you? And the unfoldment of your great potential. Can you get in alignment with that? Are you in agreement, in other words? Yes? All right. Okay, good. Now, that means that when things appear to be falling apart, they're actually falling together. That's more good news. That's great news. And so the call for us is to open our minds and keep our minds open to possibility and remain teachable. Because as soon as we close ourselves off, you know, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So we close ourselves off and then the wall is up, and I already know that. No, thank you. I don't know what you're talking about. Nope. You know what I'm saying, right? And so that's the thing that we start to do and be, and that's what we begin to create in our lives. But we're called to be open and to be teachable, and everyone is here because you are all open and you are all teachable. And so we're listening to spiritual truth and learning more about this thing called God, this thing called the divine, whatever you call it, and allowing that to work us and to transform us and rearrange us. Yes? That's what we're here for. Because we know that there is a power greater than ourselves, don't we? And thank goodness, right? Thank goodness for that. And so when things appear to be falling apart, they're actually falling together. That subtle shift in thinking can transform us. Now, it's also another way to think of it is that your caterpillar self is actually breaking down into this cosmic goo, and things may appear to be dying. To the caterpillar, he's dying. There's a death, right? But he's actually being prepared to become something even greater, to become something even more mighty and magnificent, a stunning butterfly with wings. No longer is it going to have to inch along, it's going to just fly. And so that's what we're here for. We're here to fly. We are here to soar and be the beautiful, magnificent butterflies we came here to be. And I mean that for the guys in the most manly way. I mean, look at what, a moth? I mean, a carpenter bee, whatever, right? What's the man thing? What's airplane? Eagle. Thank you, Nina. Thank you. Yeah. So in Ernest Holmes' Mother's Day talk, he begins by saying, when the seed of life is burst into fruitfulness in human form, the very spirit of motherhood, the divine teacher and the divine counselor inwardly prepares the expectant mother for the part she is to play in the creative process as soon as it happens. So why should we doubt that the same creative power which prepares the mother to give birth to her baby will not also prepare us physically and mentally to give birth to these new experiences? It does, right? We cannot doubt that this same intelligence provides the way and the methods and the means through which every birth is to take place. It's the entelechy. It's within us already. We don't have to struggle and fight and force things. Whether it's the physical birth of a baby or an invention, everything comes from one source, one divine intelligence, and one creative process. Just as soon as the seed is hidden in the ground, something stirs within it. Something stirs within that seed to begin to be birthed. And so Lowell said, an instinct within it that reaches and towers and gropes blindly above it for light, climbs to a soul in the grass and flowers. Yes, right? That's what we're doing in many different aspects of our lives, yes? And I think the very first one for us is when we awaken, when we really got that there's something greater than I am happening. There is some mighty and magnificent force in this world that is greater than I am, right? That's our first, whoop, we came up above ground, yeah? And we were green, and the light felt so good. And then there's just tons of little things along the way. Excuse me. Tons of little things along the way that happen in all the many aspects of our lives because we're always evolving, we're always growing. And so in just such a manner, our thoughts and our hopes and our ambitions hid in the soil of faith and expectancy will bear fruit after their own kind. So we plant the seed and then we expect, We have a joyful expectancy or a cheerful anticipation, right? So I want to share with you that I'm in a year-long class for ministers. It's a money mastery class. And there's 20 other ministers in this class, and it's facilitated by Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis, who is the spiritual leader for CSL Seattle. And so we meet on the third Tuesday of every month, and then on the Tuesdays where we don't meet, we have what we're calling our prayer posse. All right, so we're divided into groups, and then we spend an hour together every Tuesday, okay? So we decided in our particular prayer posse that we wanted to follow the mastermind format that Unity uses for mastermind groups. And so this mastermind, how many of you have heard of a mastermind group, right? Well, I had never actually been in one, and this was really cool. So the way it works is you share a project that you're working on, and then and you obtain support from the mastermind of the group, which is the one mind, right? How cool, you know? And so people speak. They're not trying to fix things or make you do something, right? But it's like, and you say, the mastermind says blah, 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 right? And this, you would be, it's amazing, the great wisdom that's coming up, right? And so it was my turn to share, and I didn't really know what to share, and then, so I had nothing, but then I remembered, well, there's this one little thing that I have that I've always wanted, and I've always had it on my heart to be published in the Science of Mind magazine. I know I've shared that here before, and so that's always been my heart, so I just brought that up. Now, one of the members of our group is Dr. Alice Reed, who was the former Leadership Council chair for CSL, and she was also here. She's the one who led the ritual, or my that part of the ceremony where I took vows and stuff. And so that was Dr. Alice Reed. And she said, oh, well, why don't you email Holly, she's the Science Mind editor, and let her know that you have this experience of writing for your local newspapers every other week for the past 7 years. Can you believe that? So she said it's good that you have experience with deadlines, because that's very important, and some of them are not really good with the deadlines. And so just let her know that, and you can drop my name too, right? So I'm like, okay. And a couple days went by, and then I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. And so I got the email together and sent her a message, slid Alice's, Alice said, blah, 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 right? And so I received an email back from her, and she said, oh, wow, we would love to have your voice in our magazine. We're now accepting articles for September through December, and I've attached the submission guidelines and along with the magazine themes for each month, and now you can go and choose which one you want to put together. And I was like, and then I got stuck, right? I was so excited, like, wow, this is happening. Thank you. Thank you. So excited this is happening, and then I got stuck. OMG, what am I supposed to write about? What am I going to write about? I've already written about, I've shared everything I have already, right? And so, I don't know, what's so special about what I have to say? You ever felt that, right? What's so special? What makes me so unique? I don't know. And then we had the last class for our Bible Wisdom class last Thursday, and I was reading the last few parables of the book that we're studying, and I got to the parable of the lost sheep and the parable of the lost coin, and this triggered an association in my mind of being a finder of things. Yeah, and so that's something I've written a little bit about before, but Spirit was like, oh, this is it. You can tie in your modern day parable of being a finder of things with the ancient wisdom and spiritual principle. They're going to love this. And I thought, okay, well, now we have a lead. Now we have a lead. So I wrote it down, and now it's time to write. But all of that from a 5-minute share with a group of ministers, right? And so it was a seed that was planted. And then it's been like nurtured, and the nutrients have been placed in, and it was definitely planted in fertile ground. And so the point of that story is that we're planting seeds all the time, aren't we? We're planting seeds. You're planting seeds by being here today. And and seeds are like intentions or thoughts or spiritual truths, you know. I'm planting a lot of seeds right here, just boom, 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 you know. And something I know is going to land in your consciousness, in your creative medium, and begin to sprout and grow throughout the week. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. I think so. Well, so I want to talk a little bit about the parable of the sower. Now, a few of our students in class really resonated with the parable of the sower, and they did their final projects on that one, but I want to share that a sower is someone or something that scatters seeds to be planted, right? Whether in a literal agricultural context or metaphorically. So metaphorically, it would represent spreading something like ideas or knowledge or even negative things like fear, because we do that too, don't we, sometimes? Now, the parable of the sower literal interpretation is about a sower who is scattering seeds about, and the seeds are landing in different types of soil. But there's only one type of soil that will allow these seeds to grow, and it's the good soil. It's the good soil. And so the soil is actually a representation of our consciousness, and there are 4 types. The first type of soil is hard and compacted soil. Now, this is, you know, you try to plant a seed in this soil and it just lands on top, and then the birds swoop down and snatch it up, right? And so that's a representation of having a closed off mind. That's the mind that's unteachable, that says, nope, I'm not home right now, right? Unteachable, offended at the idea of being coached, a skeptic, someone who's negative, yes? And ideas cannot take root here. They're just no. You know? Do you know anyone like that? Yeah. Right? Not us. And so then there is the rocky ground. You know about the rocky ground, don't you? The rocky ground is, it's rocky, so it lacks deep roots. And so the growth gets stunted easily. Now, it's superficial or emotionally driven. When we're superficial or emotionally driven, we might embrace new ideas, but then those ideas wither and die in the face of challenges because they haven't been internalized, okay? And then there's thorny ground. Now, the thorny ground is overly concerned with the world of affairs, and it prevents us from bearing fruit. So when we become overly concerned with the news, overly concerned with worldly affairs, right? Whatever that may be for you. So this means that the mind is cluttered with competing priorities, worry, doubt, negative habits, all of which choke the growth of these spiritual ideas because the individual focus is divided and dominated by lesser concerns. Are you with me? Okay, good. Now, the last one is the good soil. The good soil. This is the good soil. Susan was talking about the good soil last week when she was sharing about making the choices, right? And the good soil is receptive, disciplined, open-minded. The good soil is for us like being teachable, being coachable, accepts and nurtures spiritual ideas, and cultivates ideas through positive thinking, through faith, and action, leading to abundant growth and fulfillment. Now, there's more to the story, but that's good enough for today, for where I'm going with this. Now, week 1 was all about preparing the soil, preparing your mind for what? For the acceptance of spiritual truth, for the acceptance of new thought, for the acceptance of a new perspective, for the acceptance of possibility, for the acceptance of joy, for the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. Preparing yourself for that, right? Now, springtime is a very prime time for planting seeds, yes? It's a great time for planting seeds. And when you're planting seeds, any of you have a garden? Do you plant seeds? Yeah? Okay. Now, you don't just go out and throw the seeds, right? Maybe you do if you have some nice land, but most of us prepare the soil a little bit first, don't we? We test the soil, we remove the weeds and the debris, we loosen and level the soil, we add a little organic matter, we adjust the pH and nutrient levels, maybe we create some rows, and then we plant our seeds. And then so for us, the metaphor is planting our seeds. We're planting the ideas, the dreams we have, the inspirations. See, sometimes we get so in awe of worldly affairs that we forget to plant our seeds. What is your intention? What is it that you want to experience? Joy, love, peace, prosperity, or wholeness? And so while we may be, those thoughts are seductive, right? They can pull us into it because that's just how they are. And so we want to be more in awe of the thoughts of the kingdom of heaven within us, thoughts of our ideas, dreams, aspirations, the seeds of love, joy, peace, connection. And so we can plant these seeds of thought and belief that we desire to grow. Plant the seeds of your goal, like our book of the month tells us, right? And in our book of the month, Atomic Habits, James Clear says, all big things come from small beginnings, the acorn and the oak. The seed of every habit is a single, tiny decision. But as that decision is repeated, a habit sprouts and grows stronger. Roots entrench themselves and branches begin to grow. The task of breaking a bad habit is like uprooting a powerful oak within us, right? Can't it be like that? And the task of building a good habit is like cultivating a delicate flower, one day at a time, yes? We don't set it and forget it. We talked in class about how wouldn't it be cool if the gym was like a one and done thing? Like, hey, I'm gonna go get fit. I'll be back in a couple of hours. You go to the gym one time, you come out and you're like, ah! You're in perfect form, perfect percentage of muscle mass. This is also not one and done. It would be nice if it was just like a cream that we could rub on ourselves or some kind of spray. And now it's all perfect. My habits are perfect. But it's not, right? It's not one and done. It's a constant practice. And it's just the little things. It's not like this huge, overwhelming, difficult thing, It can be 5 minutes a day, whatever the case is for you. And so now I'm going to switch gears for just a minute because I want to also talk, and we only have a few minutes left here, but I want to talk a little bit about Palm Sunday, We have entered Holy Week this year, and today is Palm Sunday, which we're not a Christian community, but we're a non-denominational or trans-denominational. That means all faith traditions are welcome here, and what we're teaching is, the intention of is to enhance whatever you believe, right? It's going to empower that and make you an even more amazing human, right? And so, but Palm Sunday for Christians commemorates the triumphal entry of Jesus into Jerusalem. And so when he gets to Jerusalem, is going to gather his disciples and celebrate the Passover meal. Passover started yesterday, by the way, and the Passover meal is memorialized by Christians as the Last Supper. But yesterday was also Lazarus Saturday. And I can't let a year go by without talking about Lazarus Saturday because the Holy Week should really begin that day, And if you don't know about Lazarus Saturday, I'll share this with you. Mary of Bethany comes over to tell Jesus that her brother Lazarus had died. And she and her friends who were with her were weeping because obviously they're so sad, right? And Jesus asked them, "Where did you lay him?" And they said, "Come and see." And so he follows them, and this is in John 11:35, which is the shortest version. The shortest verse in the King James version of the Bible. Jesus wept. Right? Jesus is sad. He wept. And so Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb, and it was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. And he says, take away the stone. But Lord, said Martha, the sister of the dead man, by this time there's going to be a very bad odor. He's been in there for 4 days. And they don't want to do it. And Jesus said, did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? So they took away the stone. Fine, right? Okay, fine. And Jesus looked up and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I thank you that you have heard me. I know that you always hear me, but I say this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me. And when he said this, he then called out, Lazarus, come out. And what happened? The dead man came out. His hands and feet were wrapped with strips of linen and a cloth around his face. And Jesus said to them, take off the grave clothes and let him go. And now all these people that witnessed this believed in Jesus, right? Like if you weren't a believer then, now you're a believer. But I love that. Lazarus, come out. Because what is the Lazarus in you? We all have something that we have let die. Maybe it's a hope, a dream, an aspiration. What is that? And you know what it is because it's a thing that bubbles up when I say, Lazarus, come out. Oh, teary eyes. Yeah. What is it for you? What is it for you? It's time. It's time. Is there some part of you that has died that you need to resurrect? This is a great time to do it. Just got God bumps. This is a great time to do it, my friends. Call to it, right? Whatever it is. Gratitude, come out. Love, come out. Forgiveness, come out. Right and perfect living situation, come out. Healthy body, come out. Wholeness, come out. Healing, come out. Prosperity, come out. Whatever it is for you, come out. You can name it and claim it. That's the good news. So what is your personal Lazarus? Is there a part of you that you have let die or become dormant? Say to it, Lazarus, come out. Or whatever the thing is. It's time to rise again. It feels really good to say it. It's time to rise again triumphantly. All right, and so next Sunday is Easter. Next Sunday is the resurrection. Something new is waiting to be born. And so today, April 13th, is Palm Sunday. This is the beginning of Holy Week. Jesus and his followers enter from the east. He rides in. I'm not sure which way is east. I'm going this way. We'll pretend it's over there. So Jesus and his followers enter from the east. He rides in on a donkey and seems very humble. And Pontius Pilate enter from the west with shields and swords and helmets. They have riot gear, but they're wanting to avoid a confrontation. Why do you come with all that then? It's better than a soap opera, right? And they're shouting, people are shouting as Jesus is coming in, Hosanna, Hosanna, save us, our Savior, Savior, save us. And then Monday, he enters, right? He enters in Jerusalem. And then Monday and Tuesday, he lays low. Jesus clears the temple. Remember that one? There's the gamblers and the thieves. And then he goes to the Mount of Olives, and Judas negotiates to betray him. Wednesday, he stays with friends, has a low key, he's on the down low. Maundy Thursday is Passover, which is the Last Supper. And this is the day where he's accused, betrayed, arrested, and imprisoned. Has that happened to anyone lately? Accused, betrayed, arrested, imprisoned. And then Good Friday, where he is tried, convicted, and crucified. And Saturday, he descends into hell, meaning that he died after suffering great pain and humiliation. And then Easter Sunday comes, and he is resurrected. Jesus is born again. Jesus is transformed. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because this is your story. This is not a story of Jesus, the man, the great exception. Jesus was the great example, according to our belief, not the great exception. And that story is a metaphor for our lives. Wherever you are, my friends, in the arc of this story, we know how it ends. Yay, let's celebrate. Wherever you are, it may feel bad. You may be in the middle of the cosmic goo right now, thinking that things are falling apart and that you're dying. But the good news is that you will be born again. There is a resurrection. That's the way it works. You will be transformed. Isn't that good news? That is great news, if you ask me. Now I'm going to invite Jimmy and the band to come on up and prepare for our closing song as we wrap it up a little bit. Or not a little bit, we're going to wrap it up. Not just a little bit, we're definitely wrapping it up here. And so circling back to planting the seeds, right? I just planted the seed of this story that the Christians have, right? This story, the story about Jesus, which we see as a metaphor, you know. I've planted that seed wherever you are in the arc of this story. You will be born again. And sometimes we can't see that because we're grieving, which is okay, you know. And then there comes a time when you're ready to roll away the stone and rise again, yes? Oh, it's so good. And so we're planting seeds. The invitation for you all and for myself, for all of us this week, is plant the seeds now that we wish to harvest in the coming weeks. Springtime is prime time for planting seeds. Remember that within the acorn is the entelechy of the oak tree. That means that it has the divine intelligence. It doesn't need to pray about how to grow. It doesn't need to ask for things, right? It's within it. The divine intelligence within it, the entelechy for your highest and greatest good, is already within you. It's time for us to actualize that. It's time. It's time. Wherever you are in the arc of the story of Holy Week, you will be born again. And the invitation is to ask yourself a couple of questions this week. Who have I come here to be and do? And number 2, am I teachable? Am I teachable? And you can journal about those. But for now, let's take a deep breath together. And another one. And join me in turning our attention inward. And as we are in this beautiful space of love, it feels like that whole talk was a prayer. And so in this moment, I'm taking my attention to this same truth of life, which is that there's only one thing happening here, and it is God. And I know that it's happening, and I know that it is expressing itself in me, as me, and through me, just as it is expressing itself in, as, and through each one of us. I know there is nowhere that Spirit is not, that the entire manifest universe is actually the body of the divine. And I'm so grateful for the creative process, and I'm so grateful for the divine intelligence that is constantly moving and grooving and evolving us to have us become more of who we came here to be. Not someone else, more of who we already are. That means we're letting go of what we were or what we thought we were so that we can be who we came here to be. As God created us in the light, in the love, in the glory. And it is so good. And I am so grateful to know that that thing that went dormant within me or that got pushed aside or pushed down is coming out and coming up. And just like that little seed that starts to sprout up and make its way through the soil to the light. And I know that this is true for each and every one of us, and it is so good. I just see all these little sprouts popping up above ground. God is so good, and I am so grateful for this truth. I'm so grateful for each one of us, and I know that if there is anything that is heavy on your hearts or on anyone's heart here that has us thinking about it instead of the God's glory of the kingdom of heaven within us, that we remember right now who we are and whose we are, and everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to. I'm exactly where I need to be. This is true for all of us, so thank you, Spirit. I'm so grateful. I know this prayer is complete as I release it into the loving and creative action of the law. I know it is done, and so it is. Thank you. Thanks.
Look at the ivy on the old clinging wall. Look at the flowers and the green grass so tall. It's not a matter of when push comes to shove. It's just the hour of the wings of a dove. It's just warm love. It's just warm love. I dig it when you're fancy dressed up in lace. I dig it when I see that smile on your face. This inspiration's got to be in the flow. This invitation's got to see it and know it's just warm love. It's just warm love. And it's ever present everywhere. And it's ever present everywhere. Warm love. And it's ever present everywhere. It's ever present everywhere. Warm love. To the country I'm going. Lay life in the sun. You can bring your guitar along. We'll sing some songs and have some fun. The sky is crying and it's time to come home. And we would hurry from the car to the phone. Sit by the fire, dry out our wet clothes. It's raining outside from the sky up above. It's just warm love. It's just warm love. And it's ever present everywhere. And it's ever present everywhere. Warm love. And it's ever present everywhere. And it's ever present everywhere. That warm love. And it's ever present everywhere. And it's ever present everywhere. Warm love.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right, friends, it's now time for our conscious giving. Will our ushers today please come forward? Wonderful. We've got BJ and Susanna. Let's give them some love for being in sacred service. Thank you so much. We're so blessed. All right, so if you're tuning in on the Love Stream, you can go to paypal.me/awakeningways and make your donation. I guess I should have started with If this service has inspired you in any way, please consider making a donation to our community. Your donation is tax deductible. It just jumped right in. And so if you are here in the room and forgot your checkbook or cash, the good news is there's a QR code on the back of your program that you can scan, and you can use your credit card or PayPal account to make your donation through there. You don't need a PayPal account, though, and so I invite you to go ahead and take your gift and place it over your heart. And if you already gave, you can place your hand over your heart. And please repeat after me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world. And returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks, for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
Oh, we are so blessed with these gifts. We are so blessed for this space, for this time together. We're so blessed for the music. Oh, that last song. We're so blessed to know that we have a spiritual home. So I accept these gifts with the love that they were given, that they may do the very best in the world. And I know it to be true, and together we say, and so it is.
Thank you. I'll take that. Don't need to turn it off. It's okay. All right, my friends. So it's now time. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thanks, Susan. Just left you hanging there. So I was just curious, does anybody have a birthday in April? Anybody? So today's Travis's birthday. And Travis is going to do the announcement, so come on up. And then can we get a little birthday song for Travis? Birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Travis. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Good morning, Awakening Ways. That's right, I'm your announcements angel. In your bulletin, you have a list of all the upcoming events that's happening, especially this month. It's a very busy month. So this will be great to take home with you and put on your calendar. You're not going to want to miss any of these. But that said, I will highlight a couple of things here. The Foundations of Practical Spirituality class started last Tuesday, and there is still time to join this 10-week class. This class meets at our center every Tuesday evening from 6 to 8:30. You want to definitely see Reverend Elizabeth after service if you're ready for a life-changing experience with like-minded individuals. Holy smokes, yes. All right. The applications for Gourmets for God's event or God event are due today, and I would like to invite Reverend Elizabeth up to say a few words.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. So Gourmets for God is our annual fundraiser. It's fun. And so it's just such a fun, thank you. Yeah. It's, oh, come on. You're going to just let her clap alone? Awesome. This is a great fundraiser, and it's so great because individuals in the community create an event, and it's around food, which everybody loves and needs, right? And so we get to have food somewhere and some kind of fun, you know? So the 7 in me, right, loves that. And so we get to have time together outside of Sunday gatherings, outside of classes and other types of events, and typically in someone's house, so we get to see their house, which, like, you feel like you really know someone once you've been to their house, right? And so it's awesome. And we just love, and sometimes they're held, like, in the park or elsewhere, which is also great. So these are opportunities to hang out and get to know each other, because this is your spiritual family, right? We're a spiritual family. And it's good to get to know one another. We have each other's backs, you know, when we need it, because sometimes we forget who we are, right? And so, and then other times we're totally in alignment. And so in those aligned times, we can help our friends who might be forgetting, right? Know the truth for them. So it's beautiful. Now, we already have some really amazing events lined up for this year. I guess I should say, so members of our community create the event, and that means they decide what the food and the theme is going to be, and they contribute that as a donation to Awakening Ways, and then they create the event, okay? And then people bid. We have a silent auction, and there's bidding. And so sometimes, you know, somebody really wants that event, and the bidding war starts. And so that's fun to see, right? People get real excited about different events. And so, and then the money that is raised for that event goes to Awakening Ways. And so it's so beautiful. That's why it's such a great fundraiser, because we get to raise money for Awakening Ways. We get to have some fun and be in community. What better fundraiser is there than that, right? And so last year we had a lot of fun ones. We had the Crafty Vegan, which was getting crafty with Carol Ann and Lori Napoli. And they did a delicious vegetarian, vegan, farm-to-table organic meal and made ornaments. They decorated a slice of wood in the company of good friends. We had Lay Back and Hang Loose. Remember that one for those of you who attended? It was a Hawaiian-themed event with Susan and Mo. We had La Cucina di Girolamo pasta making. That was amazing. And Brushes, Bites, and Beverages with Reverend Diane and Terry. That was really fun. It was like a paint and sip, right? We went to the office, our center, our Awakening Ways Center on El Camino, and they had set up all the easels, and they had food catered. Oh, it was heavenly. So much fun. And then we had Laughalicious with Joy and Anna, and that was laughter yoga and great salads. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. And then we, of course, had barbecue like a pitmaster with Susan's family, Steins. Yeah, Steins Barbecue. And so there's some great ones lined up. Slay Your Holiday Breakfast Table, which is like a pastry making experience, again, with the Steins. And there's a couple of like dog themed. So there's the hot dog days of summer, and then there's dog days in the park, which is bring your dog. The hot dog days of summer, I added the hot because it's hot, enjoy dogs from around the world. Hot dogs, not actual dogs, okay? And at a pool party. That sounds amazing, right? You don't have to get in your bathing suit, don't worry. Well, it's not that, wait, please wear your bathing suit. I didn't mean it that way. There's also something called the Magic Lamp Luncheon. This sounds amazing, by a new member of our community, Sheila. So anyway, there's a lot more. There's, get rid of the summertime blues. Is that? A Cure for the Summertime Blues, which is a Blues Brothers themed party at Lori's house. I know, right? These are going to be great fun with Jimmy. Yeah. And some of the choir angels there. So anyway, it's so much fun. And today's the last day to submit. We also have the peace cranes. There's a few people who are doing, they want to have 1,000 origami peace cranes. I know. And so we're going to be folding paper. It's very meditative if you have never done that, and enjoying some great food together. So I'm going to be at that one for sure. I want to be at all of them, as always. Anyway, today's the last day to submit your application. If you have a question, let me know. If you have an idea, let me know. I'm happy to help, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you.
All right, lots going on. Okay. Our weekly guided meditation will not happen next week because we're excited to welcome back Geshe Labsing Tetsan for a special White Tara teachings and blessings. This is a powerful practice of compassion, healing, and longevity. This is going to be going on Wednesday, April 16th, Thursday, April 17th, and Friday, April 18th, from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at our center in Atascadero. There's no fee to attend. However, 100% of all donations will go to the girls' school of Jojori Zhejiang with Geshe, which Geshe founded. You can sign up at the back table and take a flyer to share in your community. And I can tell you that the last time Geshe was here was last month, and we had 3 blessed days of transformation with him, and it did transform Elizabeth and I and many of the attendees. So you're not going to want to miss this. This is this next week here, April 16th, 17th, and April 18th, from 6 p.m. to 8:30. Okay. Next Sunday is Easter Sunday, and we're having a special children's program led by our own very Dixie Ridge. Where are you, Dixie? Hey, all right. There you go. Children will enjoy an egg hunt with vegan treats, a craft project, and a sweet story of a confused little chick that remembers I am as God created me. I am good, I am love. So you want to invite your family and friends for this special time for the kids. Also, the last 2, Awakening Ways is providing a meal for ECHO, the El Camino Homeless Organization, on Thursday, April 24th. Sign up to be a part of this sacred service to our community. Thank you for that. We love ECHO and all the angels providing the meals for these. Also, speaking of angels, by the way, everybody on the Love Stream, hello. Hi, Mom. My mom's not feeling well, but she sent up a fruit salad to share for birthday celebration. So afterwards, there's some sandwiches up there. Thank you for the sandwich angels and some fruit salad. You want to stick around for that. And we love and appreciate all of our volunteers. Thank you so much. Can we give some love? All right.
Thank you, Travis. Birthday boy. Woo! Okay, let's circle up for our benediction and call and response. Woohoo! Do you do that on purpose, Brian? All right, my friends, won't you know with me that you are never alone, that God is where you are right now and always, and all that we ever need do is turn within. And it is here we will find we are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good. Joyously let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my relationships. Life is everywhere. I think it. I feel it. I believe it. I express it. I accept it. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Woohoo!
May I be filled with love and kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May we be filled with love and kindness. May we be well. May you be peaceful and at ease.
And it's ever present everywhere. And it's ever present everywhere. And it's ever present everywhere. And it's ever present everywhere.
I think I just became the host.